Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over 5 ways to make gold in Wintervale. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we're going to be going over 5 ways to actually make gold within Wintervale. Obviously Wintervale is today, and that means that we're going to be making some decent gold throughout this nice little stretch, a couple of weeks or so. This is basically the way I love to make gold, and that is because it's like the best time of year for making gold, as I stated in the Hallows End video. So what are the things that you're actually going to be making gold? We're going to get into that right now. So that being the case, let's start off with number 1, which is Savage Gifts. Originally within WoD, Savage Gifts are a thing that you can actually get a hold of. These gifts can be actually got a hold of by getting a hold of Merry Supplies. These Merry Supplies are done by the dailies within your garrison. Recommended, have a level 3 garrison, and then just go over and do those dailies. This is where you'll be able to take out the Grumpus and do a load of quests that will come along with that. Once you've done all of those dailies which are in your garrison for the Merry Supplies, you'll be left with 5 Merry Supplies. These can actually be traded in for 1 Savage Gift per toon per day and throughout the event. So the more toons you actually have, the more chance you're actually going to be making some decent gold from that. Because you not only do you have the 3% chance of actually getting a hold of the Minion of Grumpus, which is a mount that sells from anywhere from like 40,000 to like 100,000 gold, depending on your server, of course. But the things of note for that is you can also get a hold of something called the Medallion of the Legion, which actually gives you WoD reputation. Now obviously flying is now unlocked within WoD, and not many people actually do buy that anymore. But if you are a completionist, people will just buy out Medallions of the Legion due to the fact that it just gives you a nice chunk of rep on all of the reputations that are needed. So that is something you can do right there. So even if you don't get the Minion of Grumpus mounts at 3%, you can still have a chance of getting a hold of the Medallion of the Legion. The other thing of note that I actually do alongside this is the garrison resources that I get with the Savage Gifts, and then I use that in my trading post in my garrison for all of my toons and trade that into the WoD specific materials, and then I can still at least get some gold from all of that. It usually takes you around about 5 minutes per toon per day, so this is definitely well worth the investment, and on average I usually get about 3 to 4 mounts of the Minion of Grumpus throughout the entire event. So judging by your server, you can make a heavy chunk of gold just for a few minutes per character per day. That's like really good gold in the grand scheme of things. Now coming in at number 2 for making gold in Wintervale is small eggs. Highly recommend actually buying up any small eggs that you have at this moment in time, unless people have done market resets. I would definitely double check to see if there's been a market reset for those overall, because that is something that can happen and you can lose gold from that. So just be a little bit more careful when you're going about doing that. The things of note that you're actually going to be looking for the small eggs is you can actually go to Westfall to actually farm these up and go alongside the beach. You'll find a load of the birds or buzzards and kill those. They have a chance of dropping small eggs, as well as if you go to Quell Danas for Horde or Alliance, doesn't really matter really, and you can actually kill all of the Dragon Hawks around there and they'll give you small eggs as well. The reason I ask this is because that's used in a load of different types of cooking recipes throughout Wintervale, which are used to actually get achievements, and people actually do pay the premium of getting a hold of small eggs in order to actually get those achievements just done and dusted. I do know for myself, I do plan on getting a lot of those achievements all done and sorted, and that means that it's going to require small eggs. Luckily of that, I have actually been purchasing small eggs in relatively small quantities since January, so I should be okay for all that. But aside from all of that, that is basically what I would actually suggest for actually making gold, is small eggs. And as a little side note, ice cold milk is something you want to buy from the innkeeper in like your capital city to sell in the auction house. The next thing of note is the actual crafts, coming in at number 3, which is the gingerbread cookies and the eggnog. These are used for different types of achievements when it comes towards Winter's Veil, and basically it doesn't take that much to craft. You can get a hold of these recipes in your capital city or next to Grandfather Winter. What you'd be wanting to do is by just crafting those things. Usually it comes up as a profit for the eggnog and the gingerbread cookies, but I'd double check it before you actually start crafting, and highly recommend using TSM to actually double check if it's actually worth it for yourself. Alongside that, these sell like hotcakes at the beginning of Winter's Veil, and this is something you can sell at a premium for a more additional gold. So even if you farmed up the small eggs, you can still make a heavy chunk of gold just by farming that up and then crafting them into their relevant things, because that just adds a bit more onto it. Like you're doing the upfront work, so they don't have to, so they can just complete their achievements and quest lines and all that stuff. So that is something you can do right there for cooking. Coming in at number 4 is actually the miniature Winter Veil tree. And this is actually got a hold of within the Hillsbrad foothills when you actually accept your daily quest from Grandfather Winter. The daily quest is go and kill him and save Metzen, the actual reindeer. That's all you have to do. Go to Hillsbrad foothills, save Metzen, and defeat the Yeti, who is basically the Grinch. And that being the case, once you've actually done that, you will be rewarded with a stolen present. This has a chance of giving you a load of different appearances when it comes to all of that, and not only that, you can actually have a chance of getting a hold of the miniature Winter Veil tree, a scaled eye level dagger for basically the current expansion, so therefore it's going to be a high eye level for yourself. That's pretty awesome. If you are like a rogue or something, or it's actually good for you, that would be really cool because you can actually get some decent gear. But aside from that, that is a BOE item which you can sell on the auction house. Now, I can imagine a lot of people will be trying to actually get a hold of this in order to sell on the auction house, as pretty much every year the scaled dagger actually goes for actually a lot more gold than you would typically see, and that means that you're going to get a decent chunk of gold for that. And just as one little off-brand daily quest is pretty damn easy in order to do, it doesn't take you that long to actually do this daily quest. So aside from that, that is definitely something I would highly recommend doing. Coming in last and finally on our list at number 5 is the Killdozer. Now, back at the beginning of the video I mentioned merry supplies within your garrison. Recommendation is level 3 garrison. But aside from that, when you go to the vendor with the merry supplies and you go to purchase your savage gift, I'd highly recommend double checking something. The Killdozer, or the Crush and Thrushin' Killdozer, is an item that you can get from there with just merry supplies. This one can be purchased for the same price as a savage gift, so you have a chance of gambling for the savage gift to contain a medallion of the Legion or Minuta Grumpus, or you can actually buy the Killdozer, which is usually at a set price, as that is a toy that comes around every year. Now, a lot of the time people will just buy Killdozers, so I'll be prepared for that. But throughout the year, if you are patient, you can sell that for a hefty chunk of gold after the event. So a few months after the event, you start selling your Killdozers. So if you wanted to get something that's actually worth gold and not take the chance of getting something that's worth gold or a higher return of gold, then go with the Killdozer. That is something I would highly recommend moving forward. Other than that, that is my 5 ways to make gold within Winter Veil. Other than that, guys, if you have any other suggestions or things that I have missed out, please put them in the comment section down below and we'll pin those to the top. Other than that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. If you want to support the channel and help make the channel even better, then why not check out the Patreon? Members get additional info, gold making resources, and Patreon specific content. The link is located in the description down below. Thank you and have an awesome day.